Well, I guess what my question, it's like, is there a purpose for, I mean, given all these demotions, why don't we just blow ourselves up?
What? That's so stupid. What?
Why don't we?
Yeah, what is our purpose? I mean,
Turn the question around. If we do blow ourselves up, does that disprove the existence of God?
no, I guess not.
Some people blow themselves up in the name of God. The legendary Carl Sagan responds to Christian grad student question about God.
My question is, given all these demotions, what is your personal religion, or is there any type of God to you? Like, is there a purpose, given that we're just sitting on this?
That's a lot of questions. Is there a purpose? Is there any God to you? What is it?
Speck in the middle of this sea of stars.
No, I don't want to duck any questions. And I'm not going to duck this one. Even though I have high religious personages who are close friends of mine in this room. But let me ask you, what do you mean when you use the word God?
This is a good question because you ask Jordan Peterson and he'll say anything that, you're aspiring for is God. So the definition can easily slip through your hands and you can't really grip it.
Well, I guess what my question, it's like, is there a purpose for, I mean, given all these demotions, why don't we just blow ourselves up?
What? That's so stupid. What? Anyway.
Why don't we?
Yeah, what is our purpose? I mean,
Turn the question around. If we do blow ourselves up, does that disprove the existence of God?
no, I guess not.
Some people blow themselves up in the name of God.
I mean, it'll be a little late to make the discovery, but still.
Yeah. I guess what I'm asking is, since as we kind of make God almost go away in this, as he, through these demotions, and I don't mean he, because who knows what God is, but
still saying it
Sagan's like, yeah, be careful. I'm here.
makes it sort of icky, doesn't it?
yeah, it's tough.
We like it to be a he, don't we?
Yeah. We've been trained to think of it as a he.
Classic.
It seems that through the ages, humans have created a mythological framework that has always often involves some kind of higher spiritual powers. And as
Every human culture has done that.
as that goes away, as we know more and more that, and it seems harder and harder to prove that anything might exist like that, where does that leave us?
On
Now that's a great question.
our own.
On our own. On our own, he said.
Which to my mind is much more responsible than hoping that someone will save us from ourselves so we don't have to make our best efforts to do it ourselves.
Wow.
And if we're wrong, and there is someone who steps in and saves us, okay, that's all right. I'm for that, but we, hedged our bets. It's Pascal's bargain run backwards.
Yeah, because often Christians will go, trust in God. You kind of hear this idea that it's better to do it even if it isn't true. William Lane Craig likes to say this all the time. They call him Low Bar Bill for that reason, I believe. This is the other way around. No. We do it ourselves as if nothing's there, and if something comes to save us, good. Then they threat us with hell, right? They threaten you with hell.
I'll say another word. The word God covers an enormous range of different ideas, and you recognize that in the way you phrase the question. Running from an outsized, light-skinned male with a long white beard sitting in a throne in the sky and tallying the fall of every sparrow, for which there is no evidence. To my mind, if anybody has some, I sure would like to see it.
Well, the book of Job says so. Totally kidding.
To the kind of God that Einstein or Spinoza talked about, which is very close to the sum total of the laws of the universe. Now, it'd be crazy to deny that there are laws in the universe. And if that's what you want to call God, then of course God exists. And there are all sorts of other nuances. There is, for example, the deist God that many of the founding fathers of this country believed in, although it is a secret whose name may not be spoken in some circles, a roi fainéant, a do-nothing king, the God who creates the universe and then retires, and to whom praying to is sort of pointless.
Yeah, because he's not doing anything, or it's not doing anything.
He's not here. He went somewhere else. He had other things to do. Now, that's also a God. So when you say, do you believe in God? If I say yes or if I say no, you have learned absolutely nothing.
I guess I'm asking you to define yours if you have one.
But why would we use a word so ambiguous that means so many different things?
Gives you freedom to define it.
It gives you freedom to seem to agree with someone else with whom you do not agree. It covers over
He's starting to sound like an Eastern philosopher.
differences. It makes for social lubrication, but it is not an aid to truth, in my view. And therefore, I think we need much sharper language when we ask these questions. Sorry to take so long in answering this, but this is an important issue.
Wow. Look, that was good. That was good. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about Carl Sagan's answer there? Clearly, I think he's trying to imply that he's not convinced that there is some anthropomorphic deity, a God came down in flesh. This kind of concept is obviously not his conclusion. It isn't mine anymore. I once did. Jesus was the one, the God in the flesh, the whole nine. And now I'm realizing, oh my gosh, there were other people, even historical emperors they believed were Apollo incarnate and things like that. There was many of these God men, both historical and fictional inventions of the past that were believed to be, or in, I would say, most of them after they died, some even probably alive and not just posthumously. But we today are living in an age where it sounds like a lot of people are going, but if we get rid of this idea, now that we know better, where does that leave us? We have no meaning. We have no purpose. Why not just blow ourselves up like the guy said? Well, that's the crazy, sad state where people think that you have to have God to have deep meaning, to have value. And I say all the value you need is not in this invisible metaphysical realm. It's in you. It's in your loved ones. It's in your family. It's in your children. It's in the things in your life that value really happens in, and not just out here in some, place beyond that you have no way of proving or having evidence for. At the end of the day, you want to be gracious to nature and see the universe and the stars and meaning and all of that. I do. But I don't need to have this old idea of God to make sense. I prefer to lean into what we can try and test and observe and know through science, and still experience the wonder of the universe, the beauty that we see around us, and yet still see the ugly and realize it's our job to try and better that, not dependent on a dad in heaven or a mom in heaven to come and do that for us. Thank you so much. Hey, hit the subscribe button and check that bell off if you like these reaction videos and you enjoy this content. If not, no worries. Look, drop a comment. Let me know you're here, where you're coming from, and tell me your thoughts about what Carl Sagan said. Thanks a lot. Until next time.